Hey, good Monday to you. It's time once again for RFD Illinois. I'm DeLoss Yankee. Thanks for being with us. We have plenty of things to talk about. For some people, almost the only issue is how high is and will the water levels be, for example, on the Mississippi and Illinois rivers. Friday on RFD Today, we visited with Blake Roderick, Pike-Scott County Farm Bureau manager, who has both the Mississippi and Illinois in his area, and also Joe Zumwalt up in Hancock County. We talked to him. Rita has visited with him before. And some of the concern, even if the water levels go down, is there's been a lot of pressure put on these levees in the last couple months' time, and we'll be monitoring. Hopefully, June will be much better for folks than May was in terms of precipitation. In many cases, we had precip more than double what the normal amount has been in recent years. So we'll talk about that and a couple of other things to discuss as well. Some good news that came late last week with the announcement of year-round E15. We'll hear from the U.S. Administrator of Unit 5, the unit that includes Illinois, Kathy Stepp, also Bill Lee from Illinois Corn Growers at an event on Thursday as part of that announcement, and some news about U.S. and Mexico and more trade uncertainty in that regard. Plenty to come, plus upcoming forecast and a look at overnight markets. Last week, December corn gained close to 25 cents a bushel. How to do to start this week. This is RFD Illinois. Plenty more to come. The expression rain makes grain likely won't come to fruition for Illinois wheat growers. They've received too much of a good thing. Southern Illinois Wheat Tour participants estimated wheat yields will average 64.5 bushels per acre, down about 1.5 bushels from last year. Learn more about the wheat situation, including disease threats, in the latest edition of Farm Week. A new marriage of apples and pork has led two farm families to successfully launch apple bratwurst. Turn to Farm Week to find out how the owners of Rindleman Orchards and Somerset Farms have teamed to debut their product. Arriving soon in your mailbox.
No other Farm Weekly in Illinois has as many people on the ground in Illinois covering Illinois agriculture for you with the depth on key issues to help keep you profitable. And don't forget, you can get daily or even more frequent updates online anytime at farmweeknow.com.
Welcome back to RFD Illinois. I'm DeLoss Yankee. Looking at some of the precipitation amounts for May, Peoria 8.25 inches was 1,407 inch from doubling the normal May precipitation. Springfield 6 1/3 was 2.2 inches more than average, while Moline 9 3/4 inches was well more than twice the normal amount, as was Chicago O'Hare 8 1/4. An all-time record May precipitation there. Rockford almost 9 inches, well more than twice the normal output. Paducah, Kentucky, 11 inches of rainfall, smashed the old record for the wettest May by more than an inch and was well more than twice the normal output for May. So high water continues to be a concern. We talked to a couple of folks on Friday's RFD Today. Blake Roderick, manager of Pike-Scott County Farm Bureau, which has both the Mississippi and the Illinois rivers to contend with.
The big concern is, even though that the crests are less than what they were predicted, it doesn't take a whole lot of rain now on this swollen river to punch those crests back up to high levels again. We saw that in 93. Levees would fail, the basins would fill in, and then the river would be popped back right up to to high levels. Hopefully we don't see that here with this flood of 2019.
Right. I was going to ask you one of the things about, it was high in the spring and then it went down and then July came and it didn't stop raining and it came again. So I'm sure part of you is thinking about the immediacy and also just wondering, what about 2 months from now?
Yeah. Early on we talked about this, beginning of the month, said, this year is shaping up like 1993 with a lot of rains over in Iowa and up the Mississippi River Basin. And part of that, as you said, was the river would go down, pop back up again. Now we see the levees failing like they did in 1993. Hopefully we don't have this continuous surge of rainfall running through Iowa as we saw in the summer of 1993. Let's just hope that we get that out of our system now and we turn back to more normal type weather patterns. But who knows what's going to end up looking like.
Blake Roderick, we'll get back to him and talk about the Illinois River, but thinking also about the Mississippi, it's certainly not a straight north-south. A lot of twists and turns, and that can provide challenges of its own. Joe Zumwalt in Hancock County. Rita's visited with him a number of times, Secretary of Hancock County Farm Bureau. Also a member of the 32,000-acre Hunt-Lima Lake Drainage District.
Actually, some of our biggest concern areas are old breaks where our levee has broken before, or where the river, like you say, from those turns, then that channel is more or less directed at our levee, and there's no middle ground between the river and our levee in places. So you basically have the full brunt of the river aimed at your sand levee. And so those areas always take we take some special precautions there, try to lay plastic and just have extra manpower in those areas to try to combat that. We do not have National Guard, and in floods past we have. If anything, right now what we're doing is trying to control erosion on the backsides of levees. So straw bales, whether it be large round straw bales or small square bales, things like that would be very helpful because, as we all know, there's kind of been a hay and peat shortage around, and so finding straw is a little bit difficult.
Joe Zumwalt in Hancock County. Back to Blake Roderick now, Pike-Scott County Farm Bureau. The Illinois River level, he used the word scary to describe how high it will crest.
As far as floods in the top 10 floods, May really has majority of those top 10 floods since 1943. This one, if it reaches the height, will put 1943 into number 2 and will establish a new flood record. But things look like they might be leveling out a little bit, so hopefully taking some of this rain out of the forecast is going to, hopefully we'll see we won't make that 27.3 height. But the fact is, the water again has been on these sod levees for 2 months. When you got levees that are getting saturated, bad things can happen. Hopefully we don't see that, but this crest is going to last for a couple 3 weeks. These high levels, and we have to get past this.
Blake Roderick, manager, Pike-Scott County Farm Bureaus. More to come on a Monday, RFD, Illinois.
RFD Radio Network's Rita Frazier connects rural routes for you. Rita delivers passion and reliable information to listeners on the RFD Radio Network. Her radio career spans close to 3 decades. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I grew up on a small farm. My job today allows me to connect with people from all walks of life and experience opportunity every day. I get to talk about what I love, farming.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
The Illinois economy runs on our homegrown agricultural products. Our dairy, beef, pork, corn, and soybeans grow the agricultural industry by nearly $20 billion each year. But we don't just grow Illinois, we grow North America. Canada and Mexico account for over $45 billion in U.S. agriculture exports, and they support more than 1 million American jobs. Exports to Canada and Mexico matter to everyone in the agriculture and food industries.
A message from Illinois farmers and their checkoff programs.
Welcome back to RFD Illinois on a Monday. I'm DeLoss Yankee. Last week there was good news for agriculture, for corn specifically, also for consumers as well. Good news for the environment. Year-round usage of E15 was finally announced. Been speculation for a long time and hoped to get it done by the start of the summer driving season, which, if not Memorial Day, would likely be right about now. The administrator of Unit 5 of U.S. EPA, which includes Illinois, Kathy Stepp, was on the Jeschke farm in Grundy County Thursday talking about E15.
So from the consumer side of things, There's always been confusion because they haven't been allowed to, if they really like the E15 fuel, they really can't get that year-round. And so, they go 8-9 months with a certain type of fuel, and then they have to switch over to a different fuel because it's not available at all the stations year-round. And that's challenging for the consumer, so it gets to be very confusing. So there's the benefit there is that now it will be able to be sold year-round. The benefit for, say, gas station owners is that, now they can have more consistency and predictability on what fuel is going to be run out of what pump. So when it comes to labeling the pumps, and again, making it easier for their consumers to know what fuel they're putting into their cars, that's going to be a lot more streamlined. So those are good things. Availability then, I would say cost-wise, right? So people can save some money on their fuel that they're putting into their cars and going to work or wherever they're going. So those are a lot of the benefits from the consumer side. Again, from the farming side, that's like pretty much the basic rule here on this is just the demand for more corn. And that's a very good day. And people here were pretty darn happy about that. So it was a really, really fun event.
Kathy Stepp is administrator for U.S. EPA's District 5, including Illinois. Also in attendance of the event Thursday was Bill Lee, District 4 director and also vice president of the Illinois Corn Growers Association.
My local station that does have an E15 pump, and it's 5 cents a gallon cheaper than the 87 octane that is being sold now as a regular. Ethanol currently is selling for like $1.40 a gallon, and regular gasoline or the blend stock is sold for $1.90. So ethanol should be a cheaper source. It's giving you the octane boost that your engine enjoys and shouldn't be any detrimental fact to your car.
Bill Lee at Illinois Corn, one of the problems has been if E15 has not been available year-round in spots, then the retailers won't carry it at all as opposed to switching on and off different times of the year. Hopefully, eventually, this could mean a lot more corn usage, a lot more E15 consumption, not just in Illinois, but throughout the Midwest and the country.
Well, I think it is a step in the right direction. What the acceptance of the E15 blend will be in the countryside will be interesting to see. How many stations will sell it, how the distribution is going to take an effect. It may not be an immediate benefit, but I think it will build with given time.
Bill Lee, Illinois Corn Growers Association, E15 is safe for use in virtually all vehicles 2001 and newer. The event Thursday was on the Jeske Farm in Grundy County, and thanks to Illinois Farm Bureau's Katie Spangler for attending the event and providing the audio. That was a boost late in the week, and also right around the same time, some questions as it regards to trade with Mexico. President Trump late Thursday tweeted that on June 10, the U.S. will impose a 5% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. from Mexico until such time, the tweet read, as illegal migrants coming through Mexico and into the country will stop. The tariff will gradually increase until the illegal immigration problem is remedied. 5% starting June 10, 10% July 1, up to 25% by this fall. In the tweet Friday, the president added the tariff is about stopping drugs as well as illegals. Our Washington correspondent Matt Kay had some details about the fallout after those tweets.
Mexico's president is protesting this, saying that social problems can't be resolved through taxes. He sent his foreign minister to Washington on Friday to get President Trump to back off, but this is certainly an escalation of the tensions over not just with Mexico, but tensions with the Democratic-controlled U.S. House over the immigration issue. And also some Republicans, Chuck Grassley, the Senate Finance Chairman who deals with trade, says this is a misuse of tariff authority and counter to congressional intent and will have serious implications for the USMCA. So keep your eye on the ball here. Anything could change dramatically as these discussions with Mexico continue.
Washington correspondent Matt Kay, U.S. Grains Council President CEO Tom Slate said, quote, "We agree continued negotiations are the correct path to ensure stability in our markets, particularly as South American corn becomes a viable option for Mexican customers," unquote. National Milk Producers Federation President and CEO Jim Mulhern said, quote, NMPF estimates the producers have lost at least $2.3 billion in revenues through March due to higher tariffs against U.S. dairy, which has lowered milk prices for all producers. And the tariff talk came as the administration submitted its Statement of Administration Action on USMCA, one of the pieces necessary to get ratification through Congress. American Farm Bureau Federation President Zippy Duvall, in a quote, said, quote, this notice means we are one step closer to locking in vital market opportunities developed with our North American neighbors and expanding further on the gains we've made over the past 3 decades, unquote. Mexican trade official Friday said the USMCA deal still has lots of potential in the legislatures of all 3 countries, according to a report from Dow Jones. Today is June 3. That means the prevent plant deadline for almost the entire state for corn is this Wednesday, the 5th. Soybeans not until the 20th. What kind of weather will we have between now and then? Any chance for a window anytime this week? Get more corn in the ground. Well, let's break for markets and weather.
With the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Monday morning, I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all ending Friday lower. July corn closing at $4.27, down 9 1/4. September corn down 9 1/4, $4.36. December corn $4.43 3/4, down 8 1/2. July beans closing Friday $8.77 3/4, down 11 1/4. August beans down 11, $8.84 1/2. And September beans $8.91 3/4, down 10 1/2. July wheat closing at $5.03, down 11 1/2. September wheat down 12 1/2, $5.09 3/4. And December wheat $5.23 1/4, down 12 1/4. July bean meal closing Friday $3.21.30, down 6.10. July bean oil $27.59, down 19 cents. And current electronic overnight trading, July corn down 2 1/2. September corn down 2 1/4. December corn $4.42 1/2, down 1 1/4. July beans in the overnight up 1/2. August beans down 1/4. September beans down 3/4, $8.91. July wheat in the overnight up 1 3/4. September wheat up 1 1/4, and December wheat up 2 1/4, $5.25 1/2. In the outside markets, August Brent crude oil $61.99, down $3.34 a barrel. The August gold contract $13.19 even this morning, up $7.90. In the livestock market from Friday, June lean hogs, 81.72, down 195. July lean hogs, 85.92, down 195. June live cattle, 108.47, down 160. August live cattle down 197, 103.07. August feeders, 133.12, down 5.10. September feeder cattle, 134.07. down 4.45. Cash livestock at Walnut Livestock Auction last week, steers 121.25. The top. Illinois direct barrels and gilts trading steady on Friday at 48.255. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather with the early morning ag weather update on the RFD Radio Network for this Monday morning. Cool front moving southward across the Midwest did produce some scattered showers and thunderstorms over the weekend. Coverage of major rainfall here in Illinois was somewhat scattered, with many areas reporting only light amounts. Daytime highs over the weekend were in the 70s and 80s. During the past 24 hours or so, most of Illinois has been dry, and dry weather will continue across the region today as high pressure dominates the weather across all the central and eastern Midwest. Drying conditions across the state should be good today, with some sunshine, low humidity, and some wind during the afternoon hours. The weather pattern will start to become more active over the western Midwest during the next 24 hours, and more active weather is forecast over the entire region then, tomorrow through the end of the week, with more frequent shower and thunderstorm activity returning to the Midwest, and drier time becoming more limited. Daytime highs in the 70s and 80s will be common across the Midwest much of this week. Right now it looks like heaviest rainfall through the end of the week will tend to favor the southern half of the Midwest, with some 1 to 3 inch total rainfall amounts likely tomorrow through Friday. Lighter rainfall amounts are forecast over the northern areas of the Midwest. Right now it looks like this more active weather pattern will likely continue into this upcoming weekend before some dry time makes a return to the Midwest early to mid next week. Right now it looks like 6 to 10 day temperatures will average fairly close to normal across much of the Midwest, with no extremes forecast in most areas. 6 to 10 day rainfall amounts will probably be heaviest in the Ohio Valley with near to above normal amounts. Farther to the north and west, 6 to 10 day rainfall amounts could average near to below normal in most areas. Once again, in general, no long dry spells are expected across the Midwest over the next week or two. 11 to 15 day rainfall should average fairly close to normal. I'm Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather.
As you prepare for planting season, remember your neighbors. Whether you're an applicator, grower, or beekeeper, use FieldWatch to register your farm and monitor for sensitive sites around you. FieldWatch is a free, easy-to-use online mapping tool. Consulting FieldWatch is now a requirement for the over-the-top use dicamba products. Communicating with your neighbors will help you protect your farm and the environment. Don't wait. Go online to fieldwatch.com. Growing agriculture. We grow best together.
We know you want the best for your family. We do too. That's why Illinois farmers continually look for new ways to help. We're working with Mother Nature to preserve water, protect land, and provide food. From our fields to your table, we want what's best for all of us and for future generations to come. Learn more about conservation efforts at ilfarmersconserve.com. Preserving our water, protecting our land, providing our food.
This message brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau.
All Ag.
All Illinois.
All Now.
There are a lot of smartphone apps out there, but do they have what's important to us here in Illinois? The Farm Week Now app does, and it's always at your fingertips. All Ag, all Illinois, and 24/7 where and when you need it for free. Go to your app or Play Store on your smartphone, hit search, type in Farm Week Now, that's one word, and download it today. Brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau, where we're all about farm, family, and food.
Be it through headlines, microphones, or tweets, Mike Orso connects rural routes for you. Mike has been covering farm and food issues for more than 3 decades. Whether it's print, video, radio, or feeding your online appetite, Mike keeps you in the loop. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
I keep our communities, state, and country in mind with everything I do. My job allows me to work toward this mission with farmers and other rural Illinoisans.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
That's all the time we have for RFD Illinois. We salute a community that's so nice they named it twice. Mound Station in Brown County, also known as Timewell. Population 122. Time spent in Timewell is time well spent. Sponsored by Country, your farm is your family's legacy and part of your hometown heritage. While you work sun up to sundown to get the job done, we're here protecting the things you love every step of the way. Country Financial. Learn more by visiting countrycrop.com. For Rita Frazier, for Jim Taylor, I'm DeLoss Yonke. Thanks for joining us. Have a great Monday.